Good day, everybody. This is Kevin Hogan. I'm the author of The Psychology of Persuasion, The Science of Influence, Invisible Influence, Covert Persuasion, The Gift, Life by Design. What else do we write? Somewhere around there. Oh, Shattered, and just a whole bunch of other books that have been translated into languages all over the world. And today we're going to do a persuasion tactic, okay? A persuasion tactic. People ask me all the time, Kevin, are you using persuasion with me? A, I don't get paid enough money to intentionally do that. B, everybody's persuading everybody all the time. And C, if I were trying to do the opposite of persuading you, that means I would be saying, hey, don't talk to me, which by the way, might be precisely what I want. So you never know. But no, because I really don't care enough to, it's just not that important most of the time. All right. So today, mind change. Okay. Now, we've talked about how to change behaviors, but that's not the same as changing a person's mind. Okay. Changing a person's behavior is a really big thing to do. Changing a person's mind could be bigger or smaller depending on the duration of the project, okay? So, what I want you to do is just to imagine that you decided to do something. Say that, oh, I don't know, say that you decided to go out with that girl over there, okay? And you go to the gym today and you go out with a bunch of the guys and you're playing basketball or baseball outside or whatever, and they say, you know, oh yeah, I heard she was just a real, not a good word. Oh yeah, I heard that too. You too? Yeah, me too, yeah. Now what happens is the Rolodex in the brain starts to go to work, right? You know what a Rolodex is, right? And so the Rolodex in the brain is all of this person's peer group, right? Their peer group. The people, it's either always family, friends, community, or community being like church, or the people at the gym, or the people who live around them, okay? There's 4 sets of Rolodexes in the brain. There are imaginary Rolodexes too, like, you know, spirit guides, angels, God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus and stuff like that, but I can't prove their existence. I can only go with the Rolodexes of people I'm positive exist, okay? 100% sure. You can be sure, but I can't be sure. So the person says, yeah, I heard that she was blah, 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 and, you know, bad stuff, right? And yeah, and somebody else confirms it. This is the Ash line experiments, right? Of course, right? And so now all of a sudden you, let's just say this is you have a problem because you went out with this girl, you had a good time. And she seemed like a really nice girl. But your Rolodex over here is huge, and the Rolodex is saying all the people that you're hanging out with don't like this girl. And to struggle with that is really, really hard. If you want to play basketball with these guys next week, you almost have to listen to these people and do what they would think would be smart for you. Because otherwise, you're basically saying, okay, I want to be stupid in front of you. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you persuading me all the time? Because here's the deal. I would tell this person to go take the girl out and not to worry about what these morons at the gym say. That's what I would say. That's how persuasive I would say it. But I'm not going to get that opportunity. So now you're going to come from the basketball court, from the baseball diamond. You're going to come over to me. You're going to say, hey, Kev, you know, I was thinking, I took this girl out over here, and I really had a fun time. I mean, she was great. We were really into each other. It was a pretty great connection, strong energy. I really liked her. But I got to the gym, and everybody said, oh, she was like this, and she was like this, and she was like this. And I'll say, Bill, stop. They said she was like this, past tense. She was like this, past tense. She was like this, past tense. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to be intimate with any of those guys that you were playing baseball with today? Like, are you planning on having any intimate relations? You know what I'm talking about? Like in your house, in the back of the bedroom back there? Are you planning on any of that? No, are you kidding? No, I'm not. I like her. It's like, okay, so here's the deal. When they say stuff about the past tense, your Rolodex is saying what they really believe to be true, or they're just thinking around, but you never really know. What did I just do? I divided certainty into uncertainty, okay? This is really critical. You have to create uncertainty. So they're either saying what they really believe, which is what he currently believes, or they're just thinking around, which means you haven't got a clue, okay? So now I'm starting to take apart the Rolodex in his brain. Critical piece, okay? So here's the deal. So here, Bill, what I want you to do is I want you to think of this. Instead of concerning yourself with the people that you see at the gym, because how many times a year do you really go to the gym? 7 times a year? 7 times a year. And you spend how much time? 3 hours every time, so that's 21 hours at the gym a year, right? You go and play basketball, your intramural game or whatever. Okay, 21 hours. Okay, so that would be approximately 1/365th, which is less than 1/3% of the time in your entire life, versus the people that you'll be enjoying the time with this girl and you hanging out together and the fun that you'll be having back in other places. So I have a question for you. Do you want to pay attention to what is concerning you over here, or do you want to think about like what it might be like to introduce her to your mom and to see what your brothers and sisters think of her, and to get some feedback from other friends that are actually super close friends of yours that really do matter, and to actually spend some time and then make a decision after you have all the opinions and all the thoughts, and plus what I tell you, of course, which is go out with her. She's fine. I like her. Do it. Okay? That's how you change the mind change, the Rolodex. And this is really critical. Now, you've got to change the Rolodex. You got to change the power of the Rolodex. They're digging into this part of the Rolodex, which is whatever they're doing today. All right? People make huge decisions, stock changes, divorce, marriage, all kinds of stuff based on this part of the Rolodex. You got to get them to scan through the whole Rolodex, okay? And then you have to dismiss it as maybe not even being worth anything at all. Now, if you don't have a Rolodex decision, say the person is not concerned about the Rolodex. This does happen. It is rare, but it is possible. What I want you to do is this. Bill comes back over from playing from the gym. All right, in this case, let's say the Rolodex issue is not there, but say that one person said, oh yeah, I heard she was an XYZ, okay? And so you go, okay, Bill, here's the deal. Let me ask you a question. Why did you ask her out in the first place? This is what's called a return to the original decision, okay? All right, this is what really matters in real life. Every time you make a decision and you change your decision later, you should always return to the original decision and find out why you made the original decision in the first place to buy that stock, to get this, to go to work for this company, and determine whether the decision was a good one or a bad one, okay? So, Bill, here's what I want you to do. Tell me about the day where you first saw her. Well, I saw Teresa that one day over at, we were at the mall, and I literally ran into her just in Barnes & Noble, and I started talking to her. And I said, what did you guys do? Well, we went and sat down at Starbucks, and we just had a couple of cups of coffee, and it was really pretty cool. I said, did you regret at that moment asking her out? Well, no. Let me ask you a question. As you think back about that, how sure were you that it was a good idea to ask her out? Well, I was really scared. Oh, I know you were scared. Every guy's scared, right? But let me ask you a question. How concerned were you that you were making a good or a bad decision? It was fine. I wasn't worried at all. That's where you're going to go. I'm going to have you go out with Teresa tonight and the next night, and you're going to go out 5 more times. After 5 more dates, we'll talk for 5 minutes, and then we'll reevaluate at that point. Fair enough? And until then, you ignore the rest of the world, because this was your decision. You're the person who would spend time with this person or not. These guys aren't going to. And what they think they know is not that relevant. Cool? Okay, so that's how you create mind change. You find out what was the intention of the original decision. This is ecological. You must find out what the intention of the original decision is, because you're taking the person back to not someone's opinion. It's not mom's opinion, not dad's opinion, not brothers and sisters and buddies and girlfriends and all this kind of stuff. It's what was important to you, okay? What was important to you. And that's what you want to make happen, go forward. If this person was a good choice, or if that car was a good choice, if that house was a good choice, that's where I want you to go, okay? That's how I want you to think. So, your first option is change the Rolodex, break it apart, and then dig into a different part of the Rolodex. The second choice that you have to deal with this is to go to the original decision and to find out what the intention was and what the concerns were there. If there were none, let the person go have fun, okay? All right, guys, I'll see you here next time. Take care. Bye-bye.